We're done.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to SlamTube. We are fresh off WrestleMania, so we are going to go through our impressions of it, and you know how it goes. So first, assume we will go through our. Should we go through the pre-show stuff?
Nobody saw it.
You can do if you saw it, Rick.
Okay, no, I didn't.
No,
I saw the end of. I saw what the matches were because I came in late.
Won,
I didn't know.
Yeah. Basically, for the benefit of the summary of those who might not have, Kalisto defeated Ryback to retain the U.S. title. Big shock. The face team defeated the heel team in the multi-diva tag team match. The Usos beat the Dudleys, then put them through tables, and Lita revealed the new women's championship that leaked online that wasn't supposed to be revealed till Monday.
Back to our recording.
All right. So on to the pay-per-view proper. First match we had the 7-man Intercontinental Championship ladder match.
This was actually a pretty good match.
This was a really good match. This was my match of the night.
This match was good. Ladder quality was not.
True. Never is.
I mean, who buys a ladder that goes that easily? Come on.
And you could tell if you look at where it broke, it's not metal.
I love the big one that they climbed. One of the steps was like bowed out, and I'm like, really?
I always love the fact I pointed out to everyone, oh my god, Stardust is actually tributing his dad. I mean, he pulls out the ladder, I'm like, oh my god, that's brilliant. And I'm like, wait, I mean, like, the other said, oh yeah, good point. And I was like, yeah, wait, why aren't the commentators making a bigger deal about this? Oh, he's heel, he's not allowed to tribute his dead relatives. I forgot about that. When he was facing wearing a mask, they never let it go.
They did make one reference, though. They did make reference to the son of a plumber.
When he pulled the ladder out, they said, the ladder, in tribute to Dusty.
They did. Which, like I said, they said it like once. I argue how many times after Eddie died during the Ray match when he tributed him, would they constantly mention Ray's doing this for his fallen friend?
True.
We did tend to point up at the sky every damn match, so.
We could have been looking for Sting. They could have hyped that up. Oh my god, I think Sting's invading.
They were saving that for the Divas match. Sorry, women's match.
Oh man, Sting and Rey Mysterio in the match. WWE wouldn't know who to have lose more. They'd be like, they'd just freeze.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Stardust came out, I was like, what is the? Oh, the polka. Oh, okay, I get it. Like first, I was confused for like a second. I'm like, why does he have polka? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I loved that.
He's just a cosmic man.
I could go either way on Sin Cara, who didn't look quite like Sin Cara. He looked like Sin Cara that someone's paper mache'd.
Yeah.
When he first came out, I thought he had like 4 arms. I was like, what? I thought like Kalisto was behind him, and I was like, oh, those are his shoulder pads.
You thought, he's doing a tribute to the fallen Goro.
Yeah. Well, I actually thought Kalisto was behind him, like holding up his arms. Like, and I was like, what kind of intro is this? And then I was like, oh, it was just giant shoulder pads. That somehow is less cool than if he just had Kalisto behind him.
Just holding his arms up.
Yeah. Riding on his shoulders like they're one whole person.
I'm going to go off camera for a sec.
No, you don't.
Mother. Anyway. That was interesting. Also, I'm not going to be shocked if we find out Tommaso Sakara injured himself on that one where he was on the ladder and they got pushed off and flew over everybody that was supposed to catch him.
Yep. I also like the fact
that with his shoulders and clearly his hips nailed the ground hard.
I'll say this match set up a precedent, in my opinion, for the rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Every single person on Voice at the time said when asked the question, who do you think will win, said Sami Zayn. It's gonna be Sami Zayn. He's our NXT darling. And it's Zack Ryder, the guy we all made fun of. Why the fuck is he in the match? Which some people were like, I think it was Kage mentioned, he's only ever come to the dirt sheets. he's only in the matchup because Vince McMahon hates Finger, or what's his name, Cesaro, and was like, yeah, let's just put him in the match, and he wins. I'm like, well, clearly they had plans for him. But like, oh, you're also here. You must have been the winner.
It's their Oscars tribute, so they gave him the belt like 4 years after they should have.
Yeah.
Like back when he was like got himself over, and then they buried him. Then a couple years later, like, oh yeah, we should do something about that.
Yeah, redemption. They're like, oh my god, it's someone with the company's constantly screwed over and over again with a beard. We should put a belt on him. It works. That works out brilliantly.
He's so
woo 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 movement.
Woo woo woo.
The woo 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 movement. I want that to be a T-shirt.
What was up with his eye after the match? His left eye.
I assume it was partially swollen. It did look weird though.
Yeah, it looked weird during the promo. He's like this the whole time. Like I wasn't like I was looking at him like not sure if swollen eye or hitting on her.
Well, the weird thing is,
I just won my match. That was the hardest I've been all night.
The weird thing is his eye looked perfectly fine when he took that photo with Razor Ramon.
Yeah, to be fair, his eyes looked perfectly fine during his normal, everyday, when he was talking, because it was just when he blinked. When he blinked, his eye went really heavy, so stands to reason he could do that and just take his photo before he blinked. Either that or Scott Hall heals.
Will freeze for anyone else?
I feel like Scott Hall doesn't heal.
Yeah, Jim can see me.
No, Scott Hall brought Zack Ryder to the back and had him do 5 quick minutes of DDP yoga, and that healed his eye.
There you go.
Yeah.
No.
Fact. Also, I give props in that match to Owens for taking that suplex or whatever from Sami Zayn and then just staying dead in the ladder. I was like, you know what?
People on the Skype call started questioning whether he was actually hurt.
Yeah, I loved Crispy giggled like hell when they questioned, wait, is he actually hurt? Zack Ryder was winning? Zack said, no. And they said, what do you mean? And I'm like, they checked on him. If he's seriously hurt, they're not just going to say, fuck it, leave him till after Zack Ryder's done. They'd be carrying him off at this point. They wouldn't just leave him there. Curled over like this.
Just upside down. That was good.
Which means we're going to get Zack Ryder v Kevin Owens as a feud, probably with a triple threat with Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Oh god, we're going to turn Zack Ryder could be the Becky Lynch and the i.e. only there so the other two don't have to lose to each other.
Yeah, probably. Probably. Poor Becky.
He's got bro kickings for days?
Okay then.
But yeah, that was a really, really good match.
I was gonna say I love the finish when Miz is up there just gloating because he thinks everyone else is dead, and Zack Ryder just scampers up the ladders. Boom! Get off my ladder.
I also pointed out they did it again. The commentators. It's like we mentioned. It's always funny when whatever commentators always jump sides, but Sami Zayn knocks Kevin Owens off, and they're like, yes, he's gonna do it. He's gonna seize the dream. Miz does it to him, and like, ooh, he's raining on his parade. You're like, he's trying to win the match. It's perfectly illegal. You're making out like Miz wasn't even scheduled to be here.
Then Zack Ryder does it to him. My God, Zack Ryder, gotta Miz down. Can he do it?
Yeah, they were probably like, when Zack Ryder pulled down the belt, I was half expecting them to be like, wait, hang on, let me pull up Wikipedia and see who's in this match. Zack Ryder, he still worked here? No, it couldn't be him. He has a beard.
That's his evil twin.
He looks more like TNA's Eric Young, or I can't guess what his name was when I invented. He looked like the TNA guy, so with the big beard.
Yeah.
It's mirror Zack Ryder.
Yeah, did Rick see the Razor Ramon picture?
Yes.
Nice.
That was awesome.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I did not think he was going to win. I was very surprised when he did. I was like, they're not going to let him in. They're just like, okay, you can go in the match.
I was more surprised. I was more surprised I was surprised that he won, but I was more surprised that people were cheering for him.
I'm not. People like him, and to be fair, wasn't he on NXT with his brother at one point?
He wasn't. He's been on NXT for a while, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and therefore people will cheer it regardless of quality.
Fair enough. One would assume if that were the case, they'd have been all over Sami Zayn, which they were also. But...
They did cheer the crap out of Sami Zayn all the time, which was.
Because he's awesome.
He is kind of awesome.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot of awesome.
Also, I like that they tried to hype it up, but is it really that impressive to throw yourself through a ladder to knock guys down? It seems like that wouldn't be that difficult to do.
Okay, tell you what. You go try it, and then you can tell me. Because I was like, I don't think he can clear. Just because, like, I was like, just jumping that far. No, jumping that far where he like has to clear. Like, he can't arc it, really? I was like, wow. I was like, he can't do that. He does that. I was like, wow, he did it and didn't kill anybody.
Which, although if you think about it, considering his signature move is diving between two ropes and a fucking turnbuckle. And not braining himself on the turnbuckle.
Yeah, but I like that spot.
That was awesome.
I also couldn't stop giggling at the... Anyway, Kevin Owens pushes the ladder, knocking him into Stardust through the ladder when it snaps. It's funnier because, like when Sheamus powerbombed original Sin Cara, or Sin Cara Prime, as I'm going to call him, basically, and the ladder went doom, and I'm like, that's not how that works, when I got my bump of the month back when we would do it now. This one, it's like, Kevin Owens pushes him, doom, and I believe it also involved Sin Cara, doom, it snaps, and I'm like... That's fucking hilarious. That's really fucking hilarious. But Kevin Owens was just like, you know what? Just pushes him. I made the joke he should have popped up powerbomb the ladder.
How? Also, I think based on everything that was happening at this particular point in the match, I think we've established that Dolph Ziggler's super kick doesn't hurt that much. These are getting everybody, and everybody still jumped back and started attacking him anyway.
No, he had, like, ridiculous fired up. He was able to store 6 of them.
I believe at that point, because he had done so many super kicks in that one match alone, and then actually tuned it up for Sweet Chin, when the commentators, I think it was Cole, was like, he's paying homage to Shawn Michaels. I believe Chriz the Mole turned around and said, at this point, I think it's called ripping him off, Cole.
Yep, when it's not an homage if he does it every time.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to point out, he did so many Sweet Chin musics that when Shawn Michaels himself went to do it, he was incapable of hitting the guy in the chin, and instead his foot went over his head, mainly because Dolph Ziggler used all the impacts for it. They're like, no, it's out of ammo.
Yeah, but the second Sweet Chin was finished, though.
It reloaded.
True.
Yeah, made it cool.
Shawn Michaels
gave it another shot.
Yeah. It reloaded and he shook his leg.
Like, oh, god damn it, Sweet Chin's on cooldown. Generic super kick. Oh shit, it's got low accuracy.
Hey, the ammo went up his pants like it always does. That's how that works.
Yep. No, we like the ladder match.
All right, so then the next... Then next match we had Jericho versus AJ Styles.
Yes.
Great match. Also set a precedent for the rest of the night of, really? He won?
Yeah.
I didn't see him winning. Now, I know some people are going to bitch about each one of those people that win, and when they're like, they shouldn't win, but I'm like, it's WrestleMania, that kind of happens. When Jericho won, I wasn't like, oh my god, he's just buried AJ Styles. Because AJ Styles still has all this Florida work to fall back on.
Well, in the past times they fought, didn't AJ win like most of those?
He did. Yeah, so people are complaining, but people online were complaining that because Jericho didn't lose at WrestleMania, he's buried AJ forever.
Yeah, in actuality, they just tied it up to 2-on-2 so they can have a tiebreaker match, and I don't know.
Plus, they can make a big deal about the fact next year they're returning to Florida, where AJ made his name. That's going to be such a bigger WrestleMania moment when AJ wins in Florida.
I know.
And he summons all the NXT.
Yes.
Yes.
He summons all the Florida guys. It's funny. It's funny that like I said, it's still funny that they stole just say Florida, not TNA. Come on, at this point, it's fucking dead. Just let. At this point, just let it die, or say Ring of Honor, because they're partly in cahoots with TNA anyway.
Mm.
Fair enough. Yeah, this match was okay.
I like this match. It was probably my match of the night.
It wasn't mine. It was okay, but
It's a good match.
Care for that much.
It had loads of good moments, like the code breaker, or the aha, I'm gonna steal your move. No, you're not.
Or the like, I'm gonna pull this ref in the way. No, I'm not gonna. Like that was the only part I thought was weird. I was like, is he pulling the ref in the way or not? Like he was like really half-assed, which I guess will also be a theme repeated.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's just like, wait, what was he doing? Like, I'm not mad that he lost or anything. It was a pretty good match, but I was like, what? He was like, no, never mind. Like,
it's like I said to Crispy the first time when AJ jumped over the ropes and Jericho waited till he bounced down, then did a code break. I was like, what the fuck was that? Catch him into a code breaker. You've done it a million times. That'd look awesome. But instead, you wait, let him land, then hit it awkwardly from the side so you don't really hit it properly. What?
He wanted to make it video game accurate?
He glitched out the catch finisher animation.
Yeah. Well, he missed the window of opportunity, so he had to wait till he landed.
Yeah, he botched his finisher at WrestleMania to set up the rest of the night. So every match we can now say Jericho invented that.
You know? He's best in the world.
Armbar, botched finisher, armbar.
Yeah, that'd be amazing if he snuck that in.
Yeah, I love this match. If this was my match of the night, I do love the fact that AJ's part of the main roster now.
Indeed.
I thought he was probably going to go into NXT like Austin Aries had. I wanted Aries on the main roster.
Like everyone except AJ.
I'm not going to get the match I wanted, though. Sadly.
Would you?
Like I mentioned at the time, when joining TNA, when he was actually still around and we weren't making fun of him for taking his ball and going home, I wanted to see CM Punk v Austin Aries.
That would have been
They both had pretty much the same gimmick at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And not because one was ripping off the other one, but because they were both very similar people at the time. Like, they even worked together in Ring of Honor. So I'm like, that'd be fucking awesome. I want to see that match. And then CM Punk took his ball and goes home, and Austin Aries is now in WWE's developmental. Cool.
Yep.
Maybe one day Punk will return.
Maybe.
When his UFC career doesn't work out.
So what? In a year or two?
When he eventually has a fight.
Yeah, when he eventually has a fight.
Yep.
Fair enough.
All right, so on to the next match, the New Day versus the League of Nations, which was
worst WrestleMania entrance ever.
Best WrestleMania.
Terminator.
That was the best entrance. That was awesome. Came out of a box of cereal.
Dressed in Saiyan armor.
That was awesome.
And Xavier had it.
Oh, yeah. See. Oh wait, is it? Yes. Okay. Here's my exact what I wrote down. Great entrance, great ring gear. Love the DBZ hair. Mole being even more annoyed with them.
I wasn't annoyed with him. I was sat here with Crispy, and Chris was like, "Really? What the hell is this?" And I was like, it's the New Day." He's like, "Oh." I was no more annoyed than we were with Triple H's entrance.
We'll get there.
Last year.
Oh, yeah.
This year's entrance was fucking awesome with the narration and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll get there.
Yeah, I know, right? Actually, no. I've decided we're just not going to talk about the last one. Joke's on you.
Yeah.
Also, what's up with them changing the WrestleMania match at WrestleMania?
Swerve?
It's been known to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Not a title match, though. This was a title match. And it's like, nope, it's not a title match anymore, and it's now 6-man. It's like, really?
Yeah, I thought it was a title match, and then at the end, I was like, wait, they don't have the belts? Wait, what? I thought this was a title match. And they're just like, no, screw it, our belts.
It was supposed to be a 4-on-3 title match, and then they completely changed it at WrestleMania. I told no one.
Yep.
This match was The ending was weird.
Yeah.
We were sat here like, wait a minute. And we were just like,
Huh?
We're like, this is weird. This is making no sense.
Yep. Biggie was paying homage to Jericho by botching stuff.
With the ending, the crowd were into it. So
yeah.
I can see its appeal.
Yeah. Until Biggie threw himself through the second rope, because I don't know what that was.
You mean the move where it looked like he landed on the top of his head?
Yeah, like that.
When he did that, I was like, did he just kill himself?
Yeah. I was like, ooh.
He just got right back up. I was like, I'm fine.
Got wagged his finger, fell over.
But it's very possible we're talking about the different endings.
Yes. Well, the ending I was talking about was the post-match ending. That was fucking weird.
No, that is what I was talking about. I was like, oh crap, did I just give it away before you guys were talking about it? I was like, oh god.
No, that's what I was talking about.
Spoilers.
But it makes sense considering 2 of the 3 are from Texas.
Yeah.
Which 2? Don't tell me. I want to be surprised. I'm kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the end of the match was, I didn't like it, but I think it was worth it for the end of the segment. I don't know, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Where they just randomly came out and beat the shit out of them.
The only good part to that post-match ending was Austin giving out wholesale stunners.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that was worth it.
Yeah. I would argue a good part was that because he didn't get to do any wrestling, they let Wade Barrett do the talking, and his promo was actually really good.
Yep.
He got his ass whooped by the 3 old people.
And he's retiring. He's an old person now.
In all fairness, he got pulled out of the ring and got his ass whooped by the 3 tag champions first. Then he got thrown back into the 3 old people.
True.
To be fair, he didn't even get his ass whooped by the tag team champions. They pulled him out the ring, and then you see him scurry towards the stairs as they then stomp nothing.
Oh.
Meaning, they were probably protecting him. Like he took, even the stunner from Austin, he went down slower than you'd imagine he normally would.
Mm.
So I could still see him being a little injured or not quite 100% to recover.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But I was glad the league won. I like the league, but I was also the ending. I was like, while I'm not big on the ending, I was like, the crowd are into it. It's gonna be something. It's one of those WrestleMania moments.
True. And also, the thing that made me raise my eyebrow, I was like, because you only saw it for a fleeting moment, but I swear I saw Mick Foley take a can of Steve Weiser and hand it to a person at the front row. I'm like, wait, did he just hand a crowd member a can of beer?
He did.
He did. The clown. The clown that's famously straight edge. That's not even a joke. The clown's on YouTube and stuff with CM Punk all over his profile, and he's talked about how he's straight edge and he goes to all the WWE events. It was just really funny that that's the one person he gave a beer to. I'm like, really?
I also love Sean's face when Austin hands him beer. It's like he looks at it for a moment like, should I?
Yeah, it was weird seeing Mick Foley. Does anyone else get the sense that that's where Hogan was meant to fit?
That wouldn't shock me.
Like Austin, the face of the Attitude Era. Shawn Michaels, one of the 2 faces of the New Generation Era. And Mick Foley, Wait, Mick Foley?
I imagine it was because they're going to push that show that he has on the network. That's why I figured he was there.
That would also make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because they could have Hogan. He's got to come out with the everyone's got a price, and his suit, and his manservant.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I give props. There was a guy in or near the front row with an "I'm a Hulk Hogan guy" sign.
Yeah.
Also, for this segment, I need to give full credit to Rusev for selling a stunner like he's the mid-'90s Rock. Because he like flipped over 3 times. Like, Jesus Christ, Rusev.
Like, I haven't seen him recently. He looks in like actual better shape than he did before.
Most
like,
of
he
the thing,
didn't look out of shape, but he looked way in shape. I was like, whoa, he looks really good with that new ring gear, and he's like in better shape. I was like, damn.
That was Marcus that said that.
Okay.
I was like, see, when he did the flip. Because I like Rusev. I like Rusev, and I don't.
Oh my god, he just did that.
Yep. But I like Rusev. I don't think Crispy's. Yeah, I don't think Crispy's seen much of Rusev, unfortunately.
See, Rick, Rusev is proof you're doing married life wrong. You're supposed to lose weight when you get married.
Oh, he's not married though.
Well, he's engaged.
Well, there you go. Maybe I lost weight when I was engaged.
Yeah,
no,
you don't know. You weren't there.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
Yes, I was. I came and visited you down at your house multiple times.
When I was engaged? I don't think so.
Yes, because she was there too. I remember that.
Did he? No. Wife Blade shakes her head no.
You were both there. Anyway.
You're an overall, Marcus. Drop it.
That was a different bald guy.
Yeah.
Ah.
I wasn't bald then. That's what's confusing him.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, that was a different person. They didn't sound bald.
Oh, so that was back when you were crispy?
Yes. It's my secret. I'm always crispy.
Ah. That explains why you went to bed shortly before you came on.
Yeah.
Fact.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so next match we have Ambrose v. Lesnar.
This was a better match than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, this was not bad.
Yeah, I actually like this match. It was really fully entertaining.
Yeah, I like that.
This was something. It was what I pretty much expected. Weapons and suplexes.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it was okay. I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Again, surprised by who won.
Yeah, I was surprised by who won. I can understand why they'd want to push Brock over Ambrose.
Mm-hmm.
Only because Brock is pretty much their cash cow at the moment.
Yep.
I like he had a chainsaw. What the hell?
You don't know where that came from, do you?
I assume he went to a village all the way out in Mexico and he stole it from the dude that had a burlap sack over his head.
No.
Oh, okay.
He got it from Chainsaw Charlie.
Ah, you're making Michael Cole's joke about Terry Funk.
Yeah. They did a series of bits where Hardcore Legends gave him weapons, like Mick Foley gave him the barbed wire bat, and then the following week Terry Funk gave him a chainsaw, and they went through a series of those.
I thought he was doing a Finn Balor homage. Spoiler.
Okay then. I don't get that reference. I need to watch more NXT.
Just watch the
I'm guessing
Dallas,
based on the fact he said spoiler means it's.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
Which reminds me, folks, stay tuned for the remainder of this month as we continue reviewing more stuff that happened this weekend. Next week we're going to take a look at NXT Dallas, and the week after that we're going to take a look at the Hall of Fame ceremony.
Yep, and stay tuned to right now, and hopefully we'll do this review first.
Now we're trying new things.
Yeah. But they would expect that. That's predictable. Yeah. Anything can happen here on Pens of the Mind.
Yeah. But no,
anything can happen? Okay, see ya.
Yeah. Like I said, I didn't hate this match.
No, Marcus, don't get the audience's hopes up.
Touche. But no, I enjoyed this match. Like I said, it was better than I thought it was going to be. And although I had to groan at one part, and that was the part where Dean Ambrose went under the ring and pulled out like fucking 20 chairs and threw them in the ring. I'm like, oh god, you're doing this again?
Mm-hmm.
The only part of the match I did not like is when he just threw all those chairs in the ring. I'm like, no, do something different. But the rest of the match was enjoyable.
Yeah. Well, one of the commentators yelled that he was triviating somebody with that. I don't remember who.
I like them when Brock suplexed them like over them and landed on the chairs himself. I was like, oh man, he fell for his trap card.
That was pretty. The best part of that was the commentary because Michael Cole tried to sell like, oh no, Team Real I'm caught at the edge of those chairs, and JBL was like, I don't think so, Michael. He went right over those chairs.
You gotta love JBL. He calls it like he sees it.
Indeed.
Also, I feel like where was Dean Ambrose's wagon full of weapons?
New Jack took it back.
Nice. Dean versus Brock in a scaffold match.
The scaffold hold Brock.
Isn't that literally just Donkey Kong?
Yes.
Oh, point to Chriz the Mole.
Nice.
So what, instead of barrels, he's throwing Paul Heyman's?
No, he's suplexing jobbers. They just roll down.
Yeah.
Why don't they make this as a?
Yes, this needs to be a mobile game. Moving along.
All right, so next match we have the WWE Women's Triple Threat match with Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha Banks.
This was my match of the night. I really like this match, except for the finish. But
it should be noted that just before this, they did bring out the Hall of Fame inductees and give Sting a cool entrance.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool.
I thought this match was okay. I didn't like the thing we mock every year of live music that sucks balls during an entrance, or the fact multiple times Jim kept pointing out whenever someone missed with an attack.
I felt the music made sense this year just because it was Snoop, because that's Sasha's cousin. So I was like, okay, well that makes sense.
Plus, the woman who actually sings Sasha's theme song.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Usually it's the person who sings the theme song, but still, it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense a lot of the times. But this one, I was like, okay, this one I'll excuse just because of that, because okay, he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame and he's out there to support family. I'll allow this.
See, I was like, it doesn't make it good, and I just didn't like the music. Ironically, the live music at WrestleMania is never good.
Mm.
Yeah, I feel this was like one of the better ones, but that doesn't mean a whole lot.
Yeah. And ironically, I feel this was basically like the Rock's one with whoever the fuck that was.
Ronda Rousey.
When basically the female singing was better than the male singing. Like when The Rock came out to it, it's coming home. You're like, yay! Then the guy just comes on and just starts to cut her off. And you're like, oh, okay. It's like that, is it?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like the match wasn't terrible.
No.
They had some slip-ups.
Yeah, they overdid the Ric Flair stuff again, but that's neither here nor there.
At least he didn't sexually harass somebody, so it's like they're going up.
To be fair, how do you think he was holding Sasha back?
Well, they showed it later. He was grabbing her leg. I don't think he was making out with her or whatever.
That came later. He was humping her.
You're watching?
Like the Rock in that, not the wrestler, but the Rock in the background of the Camp WWE ad.
Yeah, basically, he was trying to hump her from behind as he was dragging her down, like when The Undertaker dragged Shawn Michaels from underneath the ring. Same facial expressions. But I will say, I mentioned this to the others, I don't know if you'd agree, Rick. I don't like one part of the new belt.
Mm-hmm.
Red background with a red line.
Mm-hmm.
Looks hideous, you can't really see the line. Make the line silver, or make the background blue or green, or anything but red. That's just one small little nitpick. It's much better than what we had. But I just don't like that red line on a red background. It's like, no, fuck off.
I thought the background should have been like a purple or like a darker pink, like the NXT title. When it came out red, I'm like, why is it red?
Well, it was certainly different, and it catches the eye. I would agree a dark purple would have been okay, but I think they were trying to get away from the overtly female colors on the belt.
It's fine. That's what they do, something like a purple.
That's why I was hoping for like a white line, so like the actual recycled Intercontinental Championship strap they were using.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a fusion of that belt and the heavyweight belt, which I thought was kind of neat.
I was like, oh, you just took the WWE title and you just recolored it white and red. Thank you for finally making it so we can make that belt right now on WWE 2K16 with the belt creator.
Pretty much.
But I think that's what they did. That's what they intended. Like, people want to make this as soon as possible. Should we make it DLC? And they're like, no. Give it them for free.
Well, the only piece they have to make DLC is the part that says Women's Champion on the bottom that's in the shape of the belt. Other than that.
Yeah, you can
You have champion. You already have half of it.
True.
Yeah, you can fit champion in there, and there's women's champion stuff.
You can make it work, I suppose.
Yeah.
Now, an unrelated question that came up during the discussion of this, Richter. Do you think that next we're going to see the ugly penny tag belts replaced with belts that look like the World Championship?
Possibly.
Only once it leaves the hands of the New Day.
Yeah, but yeah, like I mentioned with Becky, I feel I don't know why I don't like her on the microphone, yes, but she's okay in the ring. I feel in the ring, in terms of skill, she deserves a little better than just always being there so someone else can get the pin.
Yeah.
And continue their feud. It's like, oh, okay, so I see what's going to happen. Raw, Sasha's probably going to come out and talk about how, well, you never pinned me, Charlotte. Your daddy had to hold me back. And she's going to be like, oh, yeah, we're going to fight at Extreme Rules. And Becky Lynch will go, I am also here. And maybe lose again.
No, she'll be like, I am also here. I deserve another chance. And William Regal will be like, it's clear that last week you were the one that lost. And she'll be like, oh, you'll regret this. And then she'll jump out during someone's intro and attack them.
Yeah. I made the comment to the others that I honestly thought they were going to go a different way with this. When they said the winner of this match will become the new WWE Women's Champion, I was like, wait, they didn't say what's going to happen to the Divas title. Are they going to split the belt here? Or
I thought they said they were retiring it.
Yeah,
well, they didn't say that when they announced the belt. Michael Cole only said that after the match was right when the match was about to start. So up until that point,
which is what I was saying. But yeah, and I was like, well, that's weird. I was like, that would have been weird. That would have given away whether or not someone else was going to win later on if they had set everything up for a roster split.
That would have been cool.
I like roster splits.
Alright, so next match we have the Shane v. Taker one.
This was probably my most disappointing match of the night, not because the match sucked. It was actually really good. It was disappointing because I really wanted Shane to win this one.
He should have, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially he carded out his fucking kids. Come on.
See, I expected, and I will say I was wrong, I expected people to interfere and cost Undertaker. Yes,
I think you were calling Balor Club, weren't you?
Yep. But yeah, as people know, I like Undertaker. I was okay with either one winning. I'm okay with either one of them winning because at the end of the day, it's like it's in his hometown, in his home state at WrestleMania, which, like people always say, that's meant to be the thing of they should win in their hometown. And WrestleMania, it would kind of cheapen what happened with Brock. If now Shane's got a victory over him. But on the flip side,
they've far cheapened that Brock win already. Don't worry.
But on the flip side, I would want the authority gun. So I'm like, I can go either way with that. If that makes sense. Like, it's like, why are you making this feud? It's for no one. No one benefits from whoever wins.
Yeah. And also, to me, another big reason I was a little disappointed in the outcome is because now it's like, okay, what was the point of Shane even coming back? It's changed to nothing. He's lost. Literally, there's no point to Shane.
He came back for the same reason a lot of people come back for WrestleMania time and lose.
Because other people are injured.
It's to get, other people are injured and it gets the crowd to go, yay!
Yeah, but the storyline they were going with, it's like, again, it seems to be, an MO with WWE. No payoff. It's like nothing happens. Like nothing's changed.
And
like,
I will say, I mentioned Jordan's trick. They need a cameraman.
This match was, the camera work was very shoddy. I noted that. I kept tripping over shit and bumping into the wall, and I'm like,
what? I was mentioning the other one. Like, who remembers when Mick Foley fell off the cell?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I made the case if they'd cut it from over here instead of from over there, we wouldn't have seen as Shane hits the giant inflatable crash mat come out. The one I pointed out to the others, because when he hits, you see something black and inflatable, like, you know, like the crash mat to go whoosh and go
like
down.
A giant airbag.
So I'm like, oh, thanks for ruining that. If you turn it the other way and then cut back when they were just dead, I would have totally thought, oh, cool, that's amazing. Now I'm like, oh, he fell onto something designed to make people fall onto it. What?
I feel like all the tables should have that underneath them anyway. With how often somebody goes through them.
Yes.
It's just a new feature of the table.
I feel the Spanish announced one should just have a lead brick as payback after all these years.
There's spikes on it, like Koopa's shell.
Yes.
Pulls off the top thing, there's just like those bird spikes that they keep him from walking on a roof, and just flips it over. He's like, oh. He just looks around, like everyone's confused, like, what the hell? And Randy Orton's just underneath, smiling.
Yes.
I can't wait until 2K17 when for that Wrestlemania arena when there's not only 3 tables here, but then 5 more in the audience.
Yeah. But, like I said, for what it was designed for, like a spectacle or whatever you want to call it, the match was okay. We had some moments, like the jumping off the cell. Cheapened by the airbag, but we had the jumping off the cell. You had them going through and stuff like that. It's like, okay, it's designed just to make the crowd go, ooh, or, ooh, that's kind of cool, which, that's what it did.
Yeah.
Ironically, it was better. Ironically, I thought this match was better than his match with Triple H in a Hell in a Cell.
Yes.
That doesn't take much, though.
And it was definitely better than his Big Boss Man Hell in a Cell.
Where he murdered him? Yeah, no. That's why he wasn't at the Hall of Fame ceremony, because he actually killed him.
That's why if you heard the announcement, they inducted his family into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Yep. Big Boss Man died when they clipped rope to the back of his neck. That whole match was sloppy as fuck, the Big Boss Man one. And when he goes to hang him, you clearly see him click it on the back. It's like, oh, I'm just going to be suspended here. It's like, what the fuck is this? This is fucking terrible. Oh. It's the type of thing that if that happened nowadays, people would still be mocking it for months later.
Mm-hmm. That is if they can find the time to mock it after getting over him dragging the Big Show's father's corpse around a cemetery with Big Show dragging behind it.
It's no Kennel in a Cell or feeding Al Snow Pepper.
True.
But
or that time the Undertaker made somebody drink his tobacco spit.
Yep. Tommy Dreamer.
Is that who that was? I couldn't remember.
That was
Is that who that was? Oh my god, you're breaking Richter's heart.
You're too late.
I'm sorry, I'm a WWE fan. I don't remember things that happened more than 3 months ago.
That's true. But no, how do you know who Shane was? But no.
Because they showed non-stop video clips of who Shane was.
Yeah, but like I said, basically the match was a cool little spectacle. There's some cool moments. Let's move on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like
if that makes sense. That was. Sense. I hated that. That was sloppy as fuck. Because you see Undertaker go push it forward, and he still doesn't make it go fully flat.
Well, actually, if you look at the replay, it looks like Shane underestimated how far he was going to go when he jumped, and tried to compensate for the fact that if he had kept on that trajectory and kept his feet straight out, he would have drop-kicked Taker straight in the fucking face. He was like, oh shit, I'm going too far, to the side.
That's kind of the purpose of the move, is to drop-kick the garbage can into the Undertaker's face.
Yeah, I know, but he wasn't supposed to go that far. He was supposed to go far enough just to hit the can. If you see how he landed, he actually landed with his foot in Undertaker's face, because he jumped too far.
And I would argue, no matter how he messed it up, it's still messing it up. And like I said, you clearly see Undertaker do that, push the can forward. He hits the can. It doesn't even go flat like it's meant to. It just has a tiny little dent, and it looked like weak as hell. I'm like,
that's because he went with one foot.
Sloppy.
Yeah. Well, it was almost worse because of the way Shane tried to correct his trajectory. He almost slammed the garbage can with his balls.
Yep. But that's a lot sloppy. Highlight the match for me was Undertaker just doing the tap on Shane. Like, oh, come on, that boy, come on. I'm gonna put you out your misery now.
Yep.
And keep all the fans in theirs.
Yes. I was like, that's kind of funny.
I can't wait I also can't wait until 2K17 when you use your OMG to clip the bolts on the cell wall.
Yes. No, I want to use my OMG to do the other one where Undertaker grabbed Shane by the shirt and was going dung 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 dung.
There you go.
All right, so from from one match to the other, we go to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royale, which was surprising.
The Andre the Giant Memorial Celebrity Clusterfuck.
This should have stayed on the pre-show where it belonged. That's all I'm going to say about this match.
Can I just point out the thing before the other two point out what I mentioned to them? That trophy became shit.
Mm.
I mean, I don't mean with who won it. I mean, for previous years, it looked like a trophy. This year, it looks like someone's taken Play-Doh and shaped Andre the Giant out of it and stuck it on a stick. And was like,
didn't like Cesaro break it or something?
He did, but you'd think within a year or so they'd have the budget to make another.
No.
Not like, fuck it, let's just put the plastic mold on top.
No, they can't. He took all that money to make a brass ring.
They took all that money to paint Big Show Broad to look like a statue for that WWE swerved bit.
For Please Watch This Season 2.
The swerve, the thing Vince McMahon hates and is going to get rid of completely.
Yeah.
Hi, Dirt Sheets.
No, but this match, it was fucking terrible. It was not a good match.
Royal. It was a battle royal.
I enjoyed it more than the match before it. Except for Shaq, that was stupid.
That was, I don't know.
Yeah.
I like Tatanka.
I was like, it's a battle royal. It's as good as it's ever going to be. The Tatanka thing made me sad because the commentators rarely mentioned him. Like, he was basically just there, randomly in the background, like when a Japanese cartoon we use as a model in the background. Oh, it's that character. Secretly they just ran out the model and just put him in there.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was in there at first. I was like, wait, is that him? Like they had, like I don't even think like the people in the match knew he was in the match.
The sad thing about Tatanka is that when we were saying, all the big guys, like physically big guys, are going to get entrances, and so they started the entrances, and then bang, it's me, it's DDP. What? Wait, how does he get in? Okay, whatever, forget it. He gets an entrance and Tatanka doesn't.
I think the ones that got entrances, like Mark Henry, him, Big Show, they've all had world championships in a company.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Swagger's had multiple world championships. He didn't get an entrance.
Yeah, but he's not one WWE always lists as a world champion.
Yeah, unfortunately nobody cares about Jack Swagger.
Well, because unless you're saying Jack Swagger's the same as DDP,
no.
Clearly there's an obvious why DDP gets an entrance and Swagger doesn't. And
Are you saying Mark Henry is the same as DDP?
I'm saying Mark Henry in terms of WWE considered to be like DDP because of how long he's had the longevity in titles.
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah, they got that. Tatanka's just that guy that I remember from my SNES Royal Rumble game that came out 20 years ago.
See, I like Tatanka.
He was hella good in that game.
I still missed winning scared gimmick. I loved when he sold out to the $1 Million Man to fight Lex. That was one of the best feuds.
Also, Rick, another moment you might find amusing is after Show and Shaq were eliminated and stuff, Mole turned to us and said, okay, so who do you reckon is going to win this match? And we all gave our thoughts of who we thought we would win. And then, like about a minute or two later, Mole pipes up in and goes, you know what? That's kind of sad. And we're like, what? The fact that I asked you, who did you think was going to win, not a single one of us said Kane.
You've been here before.
I will say, Mole pointed out which one was going to win.
Mole did call it.
Yes, Mole did
call it. Of course he did.
Yes.
Now,
I saw him, I'm like, it's probably going to be him.
Oh, it's going to be that guy. I always guess it.
Yeah, let's go to our NXT expert. Richard, what do you think this does for Baron Corbin's career?
Probably help him. I was surprised they had him win. Like, I thought that was really cool, actually. I didn't think they would.
Do you think that equals the start of a main roster push?
Maybe, because they've had him like lose some like bigger matches. So I'm wondering if that wasn't like they're like, okay, we'll give you this, but then you have to eat these losses or something like that. And I was like,
didn't he just end a feud with Austin Aries?
Quote unquote feud. Yeah. Okay. They had one match, to be fair.
Okay then.
Yep.
But yeah, this match was not good. Not good.
Nah, particularly no. Although I will say I did like the point at the match where Kane started beating up all 4 members of the Social Outcast at the same time. Yeah. That was funny. Just like. Poof, poof, poof.
It was funny when they ran in the circle and then saw him and stopped, ran the other way.
They ran into Baron Corbin.
I felt sorry for Kane when he tried to chokeslam Big Show and Shaq at the same time.
Yeah, really, that.
Part of me thought that would be awesome if he had done.
That would have been impressive as hell.
Did anyone else like once they went over that Big Show like went over to him and like patted him on the back and was like super friendly with Shaq like as they walked off the camera? I was like, what? They were like trying to kill each other with their just by staring at each other. Then they flip out and he's like, come on, let's go get some burgers. I'm like, was the camera not supposed to show that?
Hey. Oh well, we lost. Let's go, little buddy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
All right, so on to the next bit. We had the most electrifying man in sports entertainment. You light his name on fire because, you know, electricity eventually creates fire. I don't know. Shit,
that was after America's Darlings, the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders.
Yep.
Okay, as anyone who knows me knows, and anyone who's followed us knows, The Rock is my favorite WWE superstar of all time. This bit did not need to exist. They should have just cut this because it was over a fucking hour longer than it needed to be in the first place. This did not help things. Not at all.
It's an excuse to get The Rock and Cena on the pay-per-view card.
Pretty much.
I will admit I was glad Cena was there because it was like the first one he'd missed and like, or he would have missed and like sum him out, and it's like, oh man, that feels weird to not have him there. You know, like I don't care if he has a match, but I'm glad he was like there just so it's like, the streak is alive.
Well, Michael Cole said the same thing. It wouldn't be WrestleMania without John Cena.
Yeah, I was waiting to see Cena in some capacity.
Yep.
Yeah. So we were thinking like, you know, maybe he'd come out and save Shane and beat The Undertaker or something, or come out during the main event. But no, he comes out in a bit that should not exist.
No.
It's like, oh.
Well, they needed to do something with those two, and the Wyatts had not been booked on the pay-per-view, so they were like, we'll feed them the Wyatts. That'll be entertaining for half an hour.
The two superstars who would have been much better served in other capacities that would not have wasted time, they put them together in a bit whose sole purpose was to waste time.
Well, at least for 6 seconds. What are you talking about?
Yeah. Well, we know Cena is just barely cleared to wrestle, and The Rock can't wrestle, so there was a limit to what they could do.
To be fair, I've never stopped him before.
The Rock is perfectly fine.
I don't mean because of his health, Marcus. I mean because he's filming soon to film the Baywatch movie, and his contract with them literally says he can't do anything that could injure him and prevent him from filming the movie, so he could not legally wrestle by contract.
And he's getting ready to be Black Adam.
Sure, that didn't stop him from walking out there in full wrestling gear.
Well, yeah, because he gave one rock bottom to Eric Rowan. That wasn't going to hurt him.
Yeah, I would make the case being in wrestling gear doesn't suddenly make you healed. I mean, until people found out about it, there was a period where like Austin was constantly on TV stunning people in ring gear, and was injured for like the whole fucking year.
Yeah.
I would argue to you, Jim, one rock bottom to Eric Rowan. Yeah, just like one rock bottom to John Cena, it didn't completely rip The Rock's pelvis off his frame. Boom.
You're not making the point you think you are, because that's like saying, well, Vince McMahon injured himself walking to the ring. No one should ever walk until they're healed.
Yeah.
No one should ever strut like Vince McMahon if you're on steroids. That's what that says.
Yeah. Joe, that was freaking hilarious when he did that, and then he had to start yelling commands from sitting in the ring like this. That was hilarious.
Yep, and talking about people doing steroids and ripping stuff right after he spoke about The Rock. injuring himself. Ironic. I'm sorry. There's no way he's that fucking muscular unless he's done something.
He looked a lot slimmer this year, I thought.
He looked slimmer this year, but like when he came back to feud, when he got injured, like he was bulked up, and you saw veins at times. He's got to have done something.
That's got to be vain.
Ah.
But yeah,
I thought like.
Go ahead.
I thought maybe they made it 6 seconds to try to make it up to Daniel Bryan for a couple years ago. Like the theme of this WrestleMania was like, "Oh, remember that thing a couple years ago? We'll fix it now."
Yeah, I think they said that was a record for shortest WrestleMania match.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, he retired, and oh, we didn't treat him that well, and yeah, let's fix that."
Yeah.
Like, who do we have that can eat it and no one cares about? How about one of the Wyatts? Who? Okay, sure.
Yep. I thought Bray's promo was awesome.
Yeah, Bray did a great promo.
Yeah, I thought the promo parts were were entertaining.
Yeah.
I
think Bray's promo was better than The Rock's, because at least Bray sounded like an adult.
I would say The Rock's promo, as I pointed out to Crispy, was made stupid by The Rock himself. Because of how often he kept telling people, no, The Rock and the millions, and got to them, no, come on, millions here, say it, and then he goes, okay, now we're here for the record attendance of this number, and it's not millions. And you're like, you can't say millions and millions are here right now as you're doing this, and then flash up less than 2 million at the bottom. That doesn't work.
Yep. Pretty much.
True.
Yeah, but yeah, it was the funniest thing because I really like The Rock, but I'm listening to Bray and The Rock promo each other, and it seems like Bray Wyatt is giving a legitimate promo, and The Rock is over here like, you're like the eater of Hot Pockets. I'm like, you realize that he's actually sounding creepy and intimidating, and you sound like a 5-year-old, right, Rock? I like you, Rock, but really, it's just not the time to be issuing those kind of jokes.
To be fair, that's pretty much how The Rock always does it. And calling Bray Wyatt fat is basically going to make some people on the internet watching go, he called him fat. Do you get it?
Mm.
It's okay. I wasn't offended, so he was allowed to do that.
Yeah, I wasn't offended.
Indeed.
Yeah, I have to agree with Jim. I liked Bray Wyatt's promo more than I liked The Rock's.
Yeah.
I liked both. I didn't like The Rock's with the millions bit, but the rest of it I was like, eh.
Yeah.
It felt like a typical Rock promo.
Pretty much. Although that does beg to the question, though. Now that WrestleMania is over and after this podcast, are Richter Wifely going to go make a little Rock or Rockette?
No.
WrestleMania, baby.
Yeah.
Did that, it didn't work out.
Nah.
Mm-hmm. Is Marcus your WrestleMania, baby?
No.
It's not that secret origin.
No.
No, we'll get his one day. I don't know what it is, though. It's secret.
Secret. But yeah, if they'd have taken out all the bits that didn't need to be in this WrestleMania, they would have hit their 3-hour mark. It's because they put in all the unnecessary filler. This went almost an hour over.
Isn't it supposed to be longer?
It's supposed to be 4 hours. They went to almost 5.
Yep. Yeah, but like I said, they did the same thing with like WrestleMania 20, and they've done it in the past.
Yep.
And it works. WrestleMania is supposed to be big.
Mm-hmm. All right, why don't you take us home there, Rick? Let's go to the last match.
All right. So the final match, we have Reigns v Triple H for the heavyweight championship, or the WWE title, whichever one it is.
Yeah.
They done fucked.
The whole thing was fucked up. But I'm gonna be straight honest here. I'm gonna overlook the shitty match because damn, Stephanie looked good.
Stephanie looked good, and that was a fucking awesome entrance.
Yeah.
She sold that speech fucking awesome.
She looked good but silly. Like I was like, so is this like Mad Max in the 80s? Like what the hell is this? And why does he have like payday goons? Like what the fuck is going on?
I thought it was an army of Ghost Riders.
But
I don't know. It felt nonsensical. It was just like it felt like a 12-year-old. Like, oh man, dudes with skulls, chicks in leather, yeah. It's like
I think, as Mole pointed out to me, I think this was supposed to be Triple H's tribute to Lemmy since he passed away.
Yeah, it was like something out of a Motorhead video. And he had said at the beginning, "I'm going to be tributing him tonight," and that's the only thing he did that night.
I'm going to be tributing him with. Remember how he died? I'm going to have guys with skull heads. Wasn't metal enough for Lemmy.
No.
Yeah.
And Triple H wasn't even wearing a skull mask or anything. That surprised me the most is he didn't have a ridiculous costume on.
He ran out of them. Gave them to all the goons.
He gave it to Stephanie.
Which, like I said, it was a little goofy. Yeah, I can agree with that, but in a completely wrestling style way. Unless
like it was like
people are forgetting, like stamping your foot and doing that doesn't suddenly equal super attack or touching a ref and they dead. It's like it's goofy, really serious at the same time.
Retro, silly. Like it felt like it was the '80s. I was like, oh man, I expected Hogan with actual hair to come out or something.
Yeah,
I think that's what they're going for because they had Stephanie with like the '80s rock hair.
Yeah, I know. It was like, what the hell?
I like that. Reigns' entrance was weird.
Yeah.
Where he didn't really come out through the crowd, which some people said they're going to get rid of that. I'm not sure if that's true. Then when he punches the star and it just does the fireworks, I'm like, is that the only reason the star was there this whole time?
He punched it and then it did his logo, and then that was his super move. It was Power Geyser.
Yeah.
Power Geyser.
Are you okay?
Yeah, it was also the big star was also there so that earlier during the ladder match, Stardust's entrance could look cool and match the set for once.
Here you go, Rick. Are you okay? Believe this.
There you go.
But this match was okay. It was weird hearing all throughout the match everyone boo until the moment Reigns hits a woman and they can't stop cheering him.
That was awesome.
Yeah, and hearing let's correct ourselves. The entire match beginning and hearing Roman Reigns boo, except for the instances when the truck picked up on it and turned the audience's mic down.
Yep. Like the part where Jeff's like, wait, is there even a crowd volume here? And you can see people going, woo, woo, but then no fucking audio.
Yeah, like
particularly while he was celebrating with the
I was like, wow, the crowd is completely dead, and Mole's like, no, they just turned it off, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, you could see it move.
I'll admit, this match I did not like. It bored me literally to sleep to the point that Mole had to wake me up.
I didn't wake you up.
Yeah, you did, because you started talking to me, and I was like, I was falling asleep.
Okay, well then I might have. That wasn't my intent.
No.
Oh, sorry for our listeners.
But no, oh my god, I was so falling asleep during like the first half of this match. It was so fucking boring.
Yeah,
the second half was okay, but
yeah. One thing I will say that I did thought looked good. I like what they did with Roman Reigns' ring gear. I like how they added the contrasting tannish gold color because that actually brings more the pattern and things on the ring gear out more. It actually makes it look good. I didn't like everything was all so dark and black and just blended in. I thought that looked better this way.
Mm-hmm.
He's no longer Venom.
He is no longer Venom. Although ironically, not only did he steal Seth Rollins' spotlight, he now stole Seth Rollins' color scheme.
Didn't Seth go to white and gold though?
Yep.
That's true. He did for at least one. He went to the white for a little
while.
So
he gave it away.
Okay.
He's like, you take my sloppy seconds.
I also love how this was going to be their answer to the WWE fans for why they should rally behind Roman Reigns and how he doesn't have a limited moveset by having him do a Superman punch like 5 fucking times.
Yep.
Well, to be fair, he did the dive over the top rope on Raw, and they chanted, "You still suck." So they're like, "Oh, that was cool, but yeah, we still hate you." So he's not going to win either way.
That's why they tried to spice up even more, and they had Roman Reigns bust out a barricade OMG.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but it was with a spear, his finishing move.
Yeah.
One of his 3 moves of doom. It's like, no.
Yeah, but in all fairness, have you played 2K16? Everybody's move through the barricade is a spear.
Some people lift them up and step forward, slamming them through.
Oh, okay. I must not have seen that animation.
I think it's a weight one. I'm not sure if that's what the lighter people do, or if it's what the heavier do to lighter people. One of them you pick up and you walk forward and just slam them through.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, it just seemed really uninteresting, and it just seemed like they should not have let Reigns win. with that kind of response. They should have said no.
Yeah.
Triple H, you need to bury him right fucking now.
Yep. And I will say, at the end of this match as well, I will say you can totally tell WWE owns the WWE Network, and not just because of its name before people think that. Obviously, we know WWE owns the network, but what I mean is, when WrestleMania 20 and stuff went over, they didn't have it right afterwards on TV that then showcased all of the fucking highlights of the night, because like, we're already over, let's not do this. This one, they did, and I'm like, oh, okay, because a couple of times in recent years or so when they've gone over on TV, they've cut off the bit that recaps everything you've seen for the last 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Which, that video package at the end was a better WrestleMania, I feel. Like, it made everything seem cool.
Oh, very much so. The video package guys are the best people that are employed by the WWE, and they need a raise. Yeah, that's like, watching the video package, they made everything, including the Roman Reigns match, suddenly seem interesting with just what they spliced between them with the music and the fast pace. And okay, that's cool.
Well, it's the same thing as trailers and movies. Like 8-9 times out of 10, the trailers are better than the movies, because when they edit the trailer together, they can make it look cooler.
Do you believe?
And the video package people in WWE, it's the same thing. When they splice the video package together, they can make an event look better than it actually was.
Through the magic.
Or, as we saw during the other commercial, they can make Camp WWE look way worse than we thought it was.
Yeah, that
Camp WWE was the second dumbest thing of the night. I hated that fucking trailer. I was so excited to see that when I actually saw him, like, this is shit.
Yes, I don't want people want to see I know people want to see in our cartoon Ric Flair humping boulders.
Yep. That was horrible.
That was not good.
No, they don't fucked up.
But back to what the actual event. Did anybody else also notice how, after Reigns won the title, he was walking around the ring with the belt? Did anybody notice how, like, he was doing a little hand gesture, looking at the crowd, basically giving that look to the crowd, like, yeah, I won. Get used to it. I don't care what you think. Did anybody else see that look on him? Because that's what it looked like.
He was doing that, which I don't blame him for doing that. But at the same time, that's not exactly going to get you more cheers.
No, not really.
Yeah, but it's not going to actually.
Nothing's going to
exactly hurt him. It's not exactly going to hurt him, considering they're not cheering for him now anyway. It's like,
True.
Let him have his moment. Let him be proud of the fact that he won. Fuck everybody else.
Yeah.
Or Ric Flair will hump your boulders.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like I said, they should have they should soon turn him heel. When Rollins comes back, turn him heel, because the crowd actually likes Rollins and don't like him.
That would be a good idea.
Just turn him or do the double turn during the match.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Reigns would probably make a good villain since people want to boo him.
He'd make a great villain, and he's got that inherent arrogance about him that you really you want to hate, so it would work.
Yep. Whereas Seth Rollins, I don't know why people really started to like him near the end.
Because people relate to Seth Rollins.
Because I liked Seth Rollins, but I was like, yeah. Like I liked Seth Rollins, but near the end when everyone started to like him, I was confused. It's like, really? His character seems like one that not the broader audience would like, if that makes sense. Because he's cheating to win, haha.
True.
But the time,
but he also showed in several matches that in at least a couple of matches near the end, he started showing that he could legitimately win, which, as demonstrated by his finisher, basically makes him Triple H.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like the whole Roman Reigns effect. Now, at least for me, I like Rollins. I fucking hate how they booked him. They completely fucked up his booking. It was fucking terrible. But I like Seth Rollins and what he was doing with what they gave him. Just like Roman Reigns. I like Roman Reigns. Fucking hate how they booked him. They booked him terribly. They completely buried his ass because they're booking him completely wrong. But I like Reigns as a person, and to a degree as a wrestler, like what he does in the ring, despite the fact he doesn't have much of a moveset, I'm okay with him. But the way they're using him is terrible.
I could see that. They completely buried him. So after he won the world title...
Ha! Yep.
Yeah, well, they're burying him in the minds of the fans. Let's put it that way. when they're trying to force him as a face.
That one makes more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
like,
they damaged it by putting a title on him. I'm like, no, this reminds me of the Dirt Sheets when they're like, this guy's in the doghouse wins the title.
It's like that. Oh, I keep forgetting who came up with this theory, but it's the continuously doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
That was the critical definition of insanity.
Yes, that's basically what they're doing with Roman Reigns. They're doing the exact same thing to try to get him over and expecting them to get over, and it's not. And you're just like, oh my god.
It was working, though. When he beat Triple H up that time, before Triple H came back at the Royal Rumble, they did a fantastic job because the crowd was actually starting to like him. And was like, oh my god, he's getting this badass edge to him. Then Triple H returned at the Royal Rumble, and all that momentum of Reigns just died.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, to the point right now, they can't push him as a face. They have to realize they can't do what they want to do. It's impossible. They have to push him as a heel.
In all fairness,
I don't know why when they'll realize it with Roman.
Yeah. In all fairness, though, that's never stopped them. I point out to you that, once again, big WrestleMania return to Save the Rock, and John Cena still gets a huge mixed reaction. It just gives that grin of like,
but that's the
I
difference.
don't care, I'm glad to be back.
But that's the difference, what you just said. He gets a mixed reaction. People will still cheer for him. Reigns was overwhelmingly getting booed. That's the difference.
There was a point in the match when the guys in the front row were cheering Roman, Roman.
The ones you said were plants?
I said they might be plants. It seems suspicious that one group of guys was chanting Roman. I'm just saying they were still there.
Yeah, but one group of guys does not a crowd make.
No,
he was getting some cheers during the.
He was getting some,
crowd,
yeah.
You could see people clapping for him and stuff. So yeah, it is more of a mixed thing. But
yeah,
I feel like what worked with Cena won't work now because when Cena was getting over with the mixed reactions, there wasn't as much social media now where it's like it hurts their company in terms of the overall. If what's trending is we hated your pay-per-views.
True. Although I said he's got some connection to Cena's audience because I work in one of my jobs is at a retail store and they happen to sell wrestling figures, and I remember that.
In all your jobs.
Funny. Anyway, when I was at one of those retail stores, we sell wrestling figures. I remember there was a time we were in there, and I remember there was some people shopping over the action figures. I remember there was this little kid. He got so excited when he saw the Roman Reigns figure, and his mom wanted the Roman Reigns figure. So Roman's got the kid audience anyway.
He has. That's why one of the things I feel the WWE probably should do or should have done. I kind of feel like they should have turned him heel, but not for the he's going to be a permanent heel. Because if they turned him heel and just let him be a badass heel, he would probably get over as a face again.
So turn him heel and make him go Stone Cold Steve Austin, basically.
I don't think he could pull off an Austin, to be fair.
No, not really.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he has the look of a badass, but I may not be the biggest Austin fan, but he did have charisma. Reigns doesn't always have charisma. Most of Reigns' promos, people are like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
When he speaks, so it's like, what Reigns needs is Paul Heyman.
I can agree with that.
Reigns needs to just stand there, look tough, beat people up, be a badass, and have someone like Paul Heyman be his voice.
That would be cool. I like to see Roman Reigns as a Paul Heyman guy.
Yeah. I would also like to say in terms of with the John Cena thing, the other difference is, it took them a while, but WWE realized, people aren't liking it when we shove John Cena down their throats. So guess what they did in the last 2 years with John Cena? Oh yeah, they pulled him back. They had him do other shit and not doing the same stuff all the time. You're like, let's put him the U.S. title on him to try to elevate that. Let's do this and that.
That's because they needed Cena out of the way so they could push Roman Reigns down our throats.
Yes, although it is worth noting, to be fair, the thing people keep forgetting is Cena was massively loved, which is when they put the title on him. He wasn't getting the mixed reactions before they put the title on him. He was the rapper Cena. People loved him. He beat JBL, who had this monster stable on SmackDown. People loved him. Then basically they just recycled him and took away everything people loved and made him a cartoon superhero that just saluted because he starred in the Marine and people fucking hated him.
Yeah.
Which means, but enough good happened before it that they feel that he could have lasted on it. Like they can just say, "Oh, he's controversial because his rapper was controversial."
Yeah.
Reigns is just like he didn't even have the massive. Oh my God, we love you. Oh my God, yes. When he gets the title, he was getting the mixed ones before they put the belt on him, which it's more doomed to fail. I feel at least.
It almost seems to me, just thinking back on WWE over the past couple of years, it seems to me like they're so desperate to find someone to put the company on their shoulders because they know Cena's getting old and he's getting ready to retire, that anybody who seems like they're getting any kind of really good fan reaction, they're going to throw all their eggs behind them without really looking at it and saying, is that a legitimate reaction? Are the fans really going to stick with this guy, or is it just a one-time thing?
I'm going to say no. I don't know if you'd agree on that, Rick. It seems the opposite. Like, they want to pick the person that the crowd are going to have the fan reaction. Because if it's like Dean Ambrose, we're going to job him out. If it's Zack Ryder, they jobbed him the fuck out and buried him like fuck and sent him away for a while. Everyone who gets over without their permission or gets over who isn't supposed to be the top guy, WWE don't like it seems.
That's true. Maybe it was just with Roman Reigns.
Bryan, hello.
Yeah, maybe it was just Roman Reigns they were desperate with, because it just seemed like, oh, Roman Reigns is getting this great reception after a year. Let's fucking push him. It's like, really?
Yeah, because they picked Roman Reigns and he wasn't initially over. So when he finally started getting a semi-positive reaction, they went, "We did it. Let's push him all the way."
Yeah,
and it happened.
And
that was the problem.
I would make the case with Daniel Bryan. I honestly believe WWE was pushing him correctly with the underdog stuff.
Yes.
Because to WWE's credit, once they figured out the crowd wanted him, they went there. And then when WWE was doing the stuff like, oh, the authorities costing Daniel Bryan and stuff, it worked for Daniel Bryan because he's not a big badass looking dude. The crowd were like, oh, we're not supposed to like him. We're going to like him more. It was one of those rare things when they've tried to replicate it since a little bit here and there. And like, I don't think it can work. Like, I feel like they might be trying it with Ambrose, but I'm not sure.
I think they are, but at the same time, I think Ambrose is one of those guys they're probably not going to push, at least not for a long time, if ever. Because even if you're doing that underdog thing with someone like an Ambrose, you need to have him win once in a while. You can't just have him do nothing but lose.
Yeah, I feel that's why I said the underdog things. I feel it would be like the Daniel Bryan thing if he keeps going there, like what they did with Jeff Hardy a while back. He gets there, then he chokes. He gets there, he's about to grab that brass ring and chokes. Chokes. And then eventually he's going to have that matchup where they'll address all these previous chokings, and he will win. Or he's just going to turn heel and attack Reigns out of jealousy on her. Either one of these is probably going to happen.
I could see that.
Either one of those will work.
I
think Ambrose is less being pushed as a Bryan type, as we've seen he's being pushed as that Mick Foley, that outlier type that you don't expect to be the kind of guy that's going to end up in a championship role. Because how long did it take Foley to stop being that? Oh, look, there's that hairy fat guy that comes out and throws himself off of things.
Yeah, he went from being that fat hairy guy that throws himself off stuff to being the greatest transitional champion of all time.
Indeed.
But no, yeah, exactly. But no, I'm kidding with that. But I will say, yeah, like I said, I think I don't like Ambrose, but I feel he should be pushed because I know the crowd love him, and there's definitely something there from his CZW days, or whatever the hell that company is called, the one that's not ECW.
Yeah. Here's what they should do. They could do, if they're gonna heel turn Roman Reigns, they should have Ambrose come up to him and be like, all right, well, now that you're the champion, why don't you give me a title match, friendly match between us, so I can get a legitimate title match here, or whatever, so I don't have to deal with the fucking authority and shit. And have Reigns be like, yeah, okay, but like never actually give him the match, to the point that Ambrose is like, dude, come on, why aren't you getting the match? And basically, when you heel turn Reigns, do it kind of like you did how they heel turn Charlotte, and have them turn, just be like, dude, you're not in my league. Like, what? And have them kind of turn that way, and then have Rollins come back to basically smack Reigns in the face and be like, the fuck are you doing, dude?
When
you get your double turn.
Oh, you said turn like Charlotte. I thought you meant have The Rock constantly at ringside for all of his matches, just going smell on the outside and being a complete character that shits over a 16-year title.
That'd be hilarious. But no, I mean like how she heel turned on Becky, where it's like, I thought we were brothers. In this world, there are no brothers.
She said, I thought we were brothers?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what Ambrose would say. But I just think that'd be a good way to heel turn Reigns and then face turn a returning Seth Rollins.
And then they both get immediately chair shotted in the back and curb stomped by Seth Rollins again.
See, I wasn't thinking, when I said do Seth Rollins and Reigns, like I said, do the like double turn stuff, because it could totally work, just being Reigns being really barbaric and just keeps doing Superman punch, Superman punch, Superman punch.
Yeah.
And the crowd would stop being like, boo, like fuck. And then when Rollins wins, just accept that he's face now.
Yeah.
But the thing is, if they do it over Dean Ambrose, and I feel kind of sorry to Dean Ambrose for suggesting this, but use him to get them over. Because if he completely heels turn on Ambrose, that'll push him even further into the heeldom. And then if Rollins comes back to save Ambrose, that immediately propels him on the face side.
Yep. And that won't at all be bad booking that we always make fun of. Wait a minute. He hated him before he was injured. Now he's like, no, I must save you. Like, I literally took the piss during the pay-per-view of, wait a minute, The Rock and Cena are now love each other when they're like hugging and be like, yay, you saved me, and we're never going to address the fact we fought.
It could be worse. As mentioned earlier in this podcast, it could have been Big Show and Shaq hugging each other within 5 minutes of hating each other.
And to be fair, they only hated each other once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
Twice. After that, it was all good.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yeah, it's that like in video games and anime, once you defeat your rival, then they join your party. That's how it works.
Yeah, they have to.
Also,
they become the Piccolo or the Vegeta.
That's
I
right.
also love Survivor Series. John Cena and The Rock teaming up. Never before, never again. Cut to WrestleMania 32.
Yeah.
Not in an official capacity. This was a non-sanctioned team-up.
It was a non-sanctioned.
Remember, though, Rock said they weren't going to have a WrestleMania fight. They were going to have a WrestleMania match, and then a WrestleMania fight, apparently.
Yep.
Sorry, match.
Yep.
Yep. Also, I do need there's one last thing before we wrap up here. I just do need to give props because they didn't address it while he was out there in the Battle Royal, but I just had to love that somewhere when they cut over to the commentary, somebody sitting in the area behind the commentary table had a sign that said, R-Truth thinks this is SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And I was just laughing my ass off at that.
Well, say, Rick, did you see the crowd when Reigns won? And did you giggle if you saw the bit I did?
I saw the crowd. I don't know what
I giggled
specifically
because
you would giggle at.
Oh, I giggled because there was some crowd like yay, some crowd like boo. When it cuts and there's Steve Amell holding onto the banister, just looking pissed. And it was all like, oh fuck, and I'm like, that's kind of fucking funny. I don't know why. It's just funny. He's like, oh fuck, and I'm like, really? Out of all the like it's polarizing things, and him just summing it all up, we're like, oh fuck.
Hunter Hearst Helmsley, you have failed this city.
I like the idea that he would be happy that he'd be happy if the heel won. He's like, damn, I wanted him to. Oh wait, what?
Yeah.
Fraud detection warning.
Yep. It's like I loved the line I read to Jeff before of people being like, no, Triple H doesn't have a baby face pop. He has a, you're not Reigns pop.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
It's completely different. So which people from NXT do you think were in the skulls?
All of them.
All of them.
Pretty much.
Baron Corbin is probably back out there.
Yeah.
See, I like the idea of one of them would have been like Samoa Joe or something like that, and no one would have picked up on it, just because he has a very unique body type. Although, last bit of thing I will comment on, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
During the Battle Royal, Marcus thought Bo Dallas was Rhino.
How the fuck back?
No,
I wasn't on headset at that point. I didn't hear that.
The reason, Jim, which makes perfect sense, is Bo Dallas was dressed in a singlet very similar to Rhino's with long hair and was like that in the corner. So I was like, okay. Then when we still wait, he's got a Bo Leave singlet on. I'm like, that's kind of funny. And yeah, he kind of does have a rhino look to him.
I was trying to figure out why Axel was wearing the John Cena jorts. Like, I was like, is he like? And he's like, I've moved on from Hogan. I'm on to Hogan 2.0, and then he just wears the shorts.
There you go.
I'm on to the non-racist version of Hogan. Rapolo!
But I like overall this year's WrestleMania wasn't terrible.
No, there's not much worse.
It's not the worst WrestleMania ever.
No, it was just really long.
It was long, but it's better to be long and at least somewhat enjoyable than
True.
I don't know, WrestleMania 2000.
Yeah, but you don't want it so long that your viewers fall asleep at the main event.
They do if they're supposed to cancel their subscription at the end of it, and they fall asleep, and then it auto-renews for another month.
Yeah. They wanted the crowd to fall asleep so they didn't see who won out of Reigns and Triple H, so they'll tune in some more in hope.
There you go.
Yep. Also, one other thing I think we do need to address here, because I don't think we brought it up so far in the podcast. We were talking about this beforehand. Can we just address that? I don't know who designed it, but can we just the WrestleMania set this year looked fucking awesome. Particularly during the Undertaker's entrance.
That stage was fucking cool.
The stage looked cool. I didn't like the fact they kept cutting outside, and it looks like the roof's on, so no one's going to see it, and they're just sending up shitloads of fireworks. Like, well, whose benefits this for? Us at home. That's not who benefits from fireworks.
Yeah, it's kind of a waste of money.
Anybody who's sitting in downtown Dallas and in nearby buildings.
Yeah, so anyone in downtown Dallas looks up and just sees what looks like the stadium being blown up.
I will say, Rick, and I don't know if you'll agree with this, but the apparatus that was above the ring, as they do, they always put an apparatus with the Tron stuff. The way that was built, when the lights were off during Undertaker's entrance and the camera angle when they pulled back, and they had the lights reflecting off it, I thought looked fucking amazing because with the way it was lit, it looked like Gothic architecture in like a lightning storm. I was like, that looks cool. But I don't know if that was intentional on their part or if that just happened to look that way because of what the apparatus looked like. But I was like, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah, during his entrance, I thought he had a conveyor belt.
Yes, Mole did.
Like I mentioned to Crispy, he's had like little tiny platforms and stuff in the past, so it gives the illusion he's floating.
Yes.
I was thinking it was going to be one of them, but then it's like, oh, it was just the light on the floor.
Yep.
Yeah, I like the stage, but I don't like when they don't come out of the center, and there's like, where they come out of, I always feel should either be in the center or look cool, and they just kind of like came out the side, and it was like, oh, it feels like anticlimactic.
Yeah, that is a little awkward. I agree.
That giant star in the middle of the Titantron set thing should have been a lift that rose up with the superstars in each time. That would have been awesome.
I know. I think what Mole was saying, it would have been nice if with all the smoke, the Undertaker rose out of the ground.
I don't think that was me.
Was that Marcus then? Somebody said that.
I never said that.
Maybe it was Kage. Somebody said it.
May have been Kage.
Blame Canada.
If anyone should have done that, it should have been Triple H when Steph did the whole intro thing. It's like, the Cerebral Assassin, the King of Kings, the game, Triple H. And then you hear the music, and he just comes rising up. He's got like the fucking like cloak on, the cape on. That would have been awesome. In the middle of all those goons, that would have looked fucking amazing.
That would have been cool.
Instead, no, he just kind of walks out with a bottle of water. You're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
He blew all his budget on the other stuff.
He blew his budget on his wife.
And the throne that was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, if you're going to do that, at least have her on the throne if you're not going to sit
how
on
many replica belts did he have? Those things aren't cheap. That's where all the money went.
Yeah, no, those belts are like $500 a pop. He had to spend at least like, I mean, how many? I don't know, like $10,000-$12,000 on belts.
Yep. I will also say to you, Jeff, she was technically on the throne.
I thought she was standing in front of it.
She wasn't like sitting on it though.
When the camera first cut to her, she was sitting on the throne wearing the Triple H mask.
Oh, was she? Okay.
And then she stood up and she took the mask off and then cut the promo standing.
And then she stood on the throne because it was big enough to stand on.
Yeah.
As far as the titles are concerned, either A, they could have been all plastic, or B, those are all the NXT superstars that had their own, and Triple H just went through the NXT locker room and said, okay, who here owns a replica title belt?
Okay, I don't think he's that poor, but I like the idea that he goes to the NXT locker room. All right, guys, who has a replica of this belt? And like a couple people raise their hand. He's like, come on for fitting. We got a mask and a cloak for you. Let's do this.
No, what probably happened is after racist Hogan stuff, they probably destroyed his Hall of Fame ring, releasing his previous title reigns. Thus explaining the skull and the belts. It's Hulk Hogan's previous titles wins.
Yeah. Although, is it surprise anybody else that Triple H can get an army of dudes that they can afford skull masks, clothes, replica title belts. Undertaker can't even get some fucking druids.
They were all in the battle royale afterwards.
Yeah. And I'm okay with the lack of druids because it looked cool with all the extra smoke and the lasers and shit.
Yeah, the lasers looked awesome.
I was thinking, if he had druids, now that I think about it, with the way the stage is set up, if they'd had the lift in the center, what I would have wanted to see is you see the smoke and the lightning and stuff, and the druids appear at the 5 points of the star. And then they turn around and they do something toward the center, and that causes Undertaker to rise up out of the center. That would have looked so cool. Oh, like they have their torches and they're like, and doom, and Taker rises up. That would have been.
But yeah, like I said, there was definitely WrestleMania highlights for the different people of different stuff.
Okay, we need to create a WrestleMania entrance, damn it.
Yeah.
Technically, they have at least some of that, because if you go through the entrances, you can, I know, at least, I didn't check this year, but I know last year you could get things like Mrs. Giant Inflatable Awesome letters.
You could, but they're normally listed as his title entrance.
Anyway, yeah, WrestleMania was okay. It was just really long.
Yeah, a little long.
It was the second best pay-per-view that was on this weekend.
Yeah, if any of you were watching at home and you ordered this on pay-per-view, if you got cut off, we sympathize. We're sorry.
Yep. Like I said, I like this year's WrestleMania. It's one of the first WrestleManias in years where we're not saying the thing of it didn't feel like WrestleMania.
Yeah, this felt like WrestleMania.
It didn't feel like one of the best WrestleManias, but it felt enjoyable enough. I'm like, this was awesome.
It felt like a WrestleMania. And that's miles above some of the previous ones.
Yeah. It felt like a WrestleMania, and we had everything from, like I said, whichever one you liked, doesn't matter, we had the entrances, we had various matches that different people like different matches, which is cool. We had a Hall of Fame actual class that included the Freebirds and Sting. That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, they must have loved who inducted him.
Yeah. Well, as Mole made the point of, they probably picked that for two reasons. Number one, because they're kind of passing the torch on the whole multi-man tag team thing, but also because, as Mole mentioned, Michael P.S. Hayes, as a member of the creative team, was one of the big people pushing the New Day gimmick. So it wouldn't surprise me if he asked for the New Day.
Spell the rumors.
The Freebirds had their bootios. No.
Yeah, it's like it made sense, and I was like, I enjoyed I liked the Freebirds. I'm just glad Michael Hayes finally has a Hall of Fame ring.
Oh yeah.
I will say it was kind of weird that Michael Hayes came out in ring gear. The fuck. Really, you come up for your induction ceremony and speech in your ring gear, dude.
Some people do that, and to be fair to Michael Hayes, with the character he normally was, he was famous for his outfits.
Yeah.
And his look, if that makes sense, more than he was like that. Like, and you always get them every now and again. Like, you always get like one or two guys. This year, Sting came out in a suit, so it wasn't going to be Sting. But like Shawn Michaels he came out in the chaps one time. Austin came out in the ATV in his T-shirt and stuff. It makes sense for different wrestlers if their look is important to them.
Yeah, it will be kind of like if he had been alive at the time of his induction, if he had been inducted and Macho Man hadn't come out in like giant, gaudy, bright ass tassels and shit.
Yep.
Fair enough. I don't know. It just felt a little out of place to me because you just see the sea of like black suits and little red dresses, and then Michael P.S. Hayes in all fucking white. You're like, whoa, dude, what the hell?
I think that's meant to be kind of the point. He was all about about being like a rebel and just sticking out, which that's awesome.
Yep.
Fair enough.
I like the Freebirds. We have music in wrestling to thank.
Indeed. Also, I know we mentioned the one at the end, but big props to the opening promo of WrestleMania, because that got me really hyped for WrestleMania. I thought that was a great promo.
Speaking of the promos, I will say, as I mentioned to Marcus, what the hell was up with the one for the Triple Threat women's match?
Yeah.
The Google search thing was fun. I was like, oh, okay, I see what you're doing. That's kind of cool. For like the first two searches, and it's like, really? You search for the champ, and you get Charlotte, not Cena, who's the champ is here? Or you search for Triple Threat, and you get one that hasn't happened yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, speaking of promos, as Chriz the Mole pointed out to me, the promo for the main event, they did it completely wrong. It's like, you should be trying to show Roman Reigns as the good guy, but if you watch that promo, it's clearly Triple H as the conquering hero. It's like, no, show Roman Reigns beating the shit out of Triple H. That's what you need to show to push him. Not, oh, Triple H is going to come out and beat the crap out of him and take his title belt.
Yeah, the way I worded it was they needed to show more of it before the Royal Rumble stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really important to why that Royal Rumble moment and stuff mattered, because it wasn't just, oh, Triple H came back, won the title, and now Reigns is like, boo, you took my title. He's like, oh my god, the McMahon screwed me after they've done all this other shit to me.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, it felt more like a Triple H promo. Just watching, I'm like, wow, it seems like you're billing Triple H as the, Conan the Conqueror over here. You're like, come on, what?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, why don't you go ahead and take us home, Rick?
Sounds good. So there you have it. Our thoughts on WrestleMania 32. I made sure to write that down when they said it because they stopped putting numbers.
I thought it was WrestleMania Star.
I thought it was WrestleMania Star.
No, actually, the one time I actually noticed it was with the AJ Styles v Jericho match, where like the little scrolling text said WrestleMania 32, and it's like, oh, so I made sure to not note that so I could remember the number.
Yeah. See, I wasn't sure if they were going to start doing with WrestleMania what they do with the NXT pay-per-views. Because a lot of times they kept calling it WrestleMania Dallas.
Yeah.
So I thought they might be doing that, like, oh no, next year to be WrestleMania Orlando and stuff.
Well, like, rumor is because they don't want to put numbers because then it'll feel old if you're like, oh my god, 35? Like,
yeah.
Like, that's not your biggest problem, Vince, but sure.
Yeah. Which is also really silly if we don't want to seem old, and then we're going to have loads of segments to remind you of the past.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Although if you're paying attention to the logo, next year is WrestleMania Sunshine.
Yep.
WrestleMania Disney.
WrestleMania Sunny D.
I can't wait till they rehire Nunzio and then send him out here with a water pack to clean everything up.
No, if they hire anyone for next year back, Jim, it needs to be Orlando Jordan, because then he can just start referring to his WrestleMania Orlando Jordan.
Nice.
And it will instantly make him go, oh my god, that's genius, I never realized that before.
No, if they hire anyone back, it needs to be Taka Michinoku so Funaki has a proper partner. That was awesome to see Funaki as part of the Japanese commentating team. I was like, yes! And he did the #1 announcer thing. I was like, it's been too long, Funaki.
Yes, and of course JBL had to ruin it by going, indeed.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, yeah.
At least he got recognition there.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
But Kage mentioned it should have been Taka, and I was like, yeah, that would have been cool to see Taka up there with him.
Yeah. It's during the main event when the two tables had been destroyed earlier, and it looked like Triple H might break the third. We started talking about, like, the only thing they would say in this match is they went out and they broke all 5 other tables out in the crowd.
That would have been amazing.
Or how awesome would it have been if they'd done a move onto that table at ringside and all the other 5 had broke, but that one hadn't?
Just from the shockwave.
Yeah, just from the shockwave. Like Triple H goes to pedigree him through it. Doom, the table doesn't break. You're like, what the? And then you just see all the other ones. You're like, what just happened?
Or after Roman Reigns' entrance, where he summoned the fireworks with his power geyser, when he does it in the ring, just one of the tables collapses, and he's like, sorry.
Yeah.
See, you also missed the other bit with Roman Reigns' entrance when he did the doom and all the fireworks went up. If you look closely, you see Sting fall out the rafters.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, based on what happened earlier, what should have happened is Triple H should have gone to pedigree Roman Reigns at the table, and then you just see the bag inflate under them.
Yep.
I think we've exhausted this.
Indeed.
Yep. All right, so there you have it. Thank you very much for joining us. Come on back for the next pay-per-view, and we will see you then. Good night.
Woo.